Libra, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast for February 1st through the 7th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology, very different from mainstream astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to click the link for more information. All right, Libra, so a lot going on. We've got basically a dual week here in the aspects. We've got this work week, if you will, very different aspects from the weekend. And there's actually a lot going on, but I'm going to break it down simply. It's actually not as busy as it looks, although it could be a busy week. Now, coming off of last weekend, we do have Mercury squaring up to Uranus, which is indicating that there is still integration coming from these last few weeks of transformation, and that's been Mercury over Pluto. Now, this is involving specifically your communications, I think your mind, maybe your intellectual abilities, anything in your immediate environment, short distance travel, these kinds of things have been going through this transformation. And so the key with it is to integrate it this early part of the week. Be patient with it. Mercury will be squaring up to Uranus again for the third and final time here. So seeing where you can have maybe more freedom with the daily activities, right? You might be feeling like maybe making some revolutionary change to your daily activities or to your work environment or whatever, but taking it nice and slow and integrating it one step at a time this early part of the week. Now here around a few sextiles, which are quite nice. These are openings. So with this, we could all be feeling quite motivated. For you, quite particularly, you've got Mars in your first house, sextiling up to Pluto, is suggesting that maybe from this transformation, you could have this energy, you could have this momentum, this drive to assert yourself, to follow your goals, your pursuits in life. You know, these are the first house matters, very important here with Mars. So I think it's an excellent time to assert yourself, to follow and get that ball moving, to maybe do some physical exercise or whatever it might be. There's a lot of things, I think, coming to the forefront with your values and your relationships as well, which can be an excellent week for cultivating. Now, the Sun does sextile up to Saturn, so there is easygoingness in regards to what has been, I think, more serious area for you, which is the second house of your values, maybe even the financial material stuff, which has been grounding with Saturn in that second house. But I think it can come quite easy this week. I think your values, maybe enjoying the simple pleasures of life, can be quite nice. Now, the Sun is in your fourth house, so you guys' energies, although very motivating, you know, your self-expression might be at a low right now with the Sun in your fourth, but the key with this is that you're finding, you know, this attention, you know, this new focus as you do every year in regards to what really matters on the emotional level, right? Maybe connecting to home, maybe connecting to family, maybe you know, focusing on your health, your body. These kinds of things can also be quite excellent, and I think you'll just naturally have a good reserve, a good emotional discipline this week. Now, Mercury is going to be sextiling up to Chiron on a minor note, so you could be feeling quite healed and rejuvenated in terms of that communication or learning or intellectual or social stuff, which has been transforming, which is quite nice. And then over the weekend, we do have that Venus going over Pluto. So this is going to be probably the strongest emphasis of the weekend for you because it is involving your ruler. So here there's change happening, and this is change to you, right? And I think it's great to be open to change, to be non-attached to any particular outcomes. I think although there's a lot of motivation and drive here to move forward, it's good to be open to change, right? Seeing how the universe, how things can be different than we intend them to be. And I think the more open you are to seeing that there might be different outcomes, the better, right? But that's not only with your goals, I think it's also with you, right? Being open to changing who you are, or who we think we are, these kinds of things. And through that, the transformation comes very easy. It just kind of flows in that regard. Of course, your personal chart does matter on that, but you know, this is all free will based. This is the constraints, these are the environments in which we can choose and grow through. So Venus is also going to be squaring up to Uranus in that regard, so you might be feeling like wanting to break free, maybe do some sudden things, make some sudden changes, maybe again with that work or the daily activities. So there's something to listen to with that over the weekend, but taking it nice and slow, again, with this square up to Uranus is very important in integrating it one step at a time. Now, the Sun will be squaring up to Mars over the weekend, so you could be feeling maybe some frustrations, maybe some delays. It doesn't imply that there is, but is suggesting that there's patience needed for one reason or another in your personal life. So being patient and taking whatever slow and steady actions are necessary to cultivate these goals of yours, but in the longer term, I feel like. And with the sun here in the 4th house, being patient too with things around home or with family, and maybe even your health as well. Now, what's nice about that stuff is that on one area, it's squaring up to Mars from the 1st, but on another area, it's sextiling up to Uranus. Okay, so there is inspiration, at least in the backdrop of it. There might even be intuition, could be strong, and excitement, I think, to cultivate this more watery, emotional aspect of your life, which is good, considering all the other aspects. Now, the last aspect of the week does have Mercury trining up to Jupiter and the North Node. So with this one, this is actually quite nice from all this transformation and all these past few weeks, even months with Mercury, bouncing around this position this past month. There's a lot of support, and a lot of support is pulling you into your 11th house, which is your North Node going into your 11th. Now, the 11th house is all about our future hopes, our wishes, our dreams. On another level, our groups, our friends, our communities. So all these things, I think, have been expanding for you for the past 6 months with Jupiter, and now it's an excellent weekend for that, with this conjunction still strong and Mercury trining up to it. So from that transformation of the self with this, I think, your mind essentially of that 3rd house, it's now open, it's freer, and I think it's very much supporting anything that you may want to pursue over the weekend in regards to those groups or your hopes and wishes, which could be quite nice. All right, Libra, so have a great week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.